Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Vicente killed Johnny during the events of Cobra Kai Season 5? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 4 would still happen. Cobra Kai would still win the All Valley, so Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do would be forced to shut down. Robbie would still go to Johnny, and Miguel would still run away. Terry Silver would still betray Kreese. Daniel would still get chosen, and Season 4 would still end the same way. Johnny and Robbie would still go to Mexico to get Miguel. The events of Season 5 would carry on. Johnny would still buy FBI shirts for him and Robbie, and they would still be looking for Miguel. The relationship between Johnny and Robbie would improve. Miguel would still find Hector, and they would still spend some time together. Hector would still take Miguel to the fighting arena, and those events would stay the same. Johnny and Robbie would still track down Miguel and Hector at the fighting arena, but Vicente would think that Johnny was there for Hector, and he would try to stop Johnny, but Johnny would strike first, and he would start fighting Vicente. Robbie would want to help Johnny, but Johnny would tell him to stay back. Johnny would continue fighting Vicente, but Vicente would get help from Hector's men. More and more of Hector's men would show up to team up against Johnny. Robbie would still want to help by throwing Johnny the pepper, but in this timeline, Johnny wouldn't catch it, and they would continue beating on Johnny. And in this timeline, Vicente would kill Johnny, and Johnny would be on the floor dead. Robbie would be consumed in rage, and he would want to fight Vicente. But with the help of Hector's men, Vicente would take Robbie down, but they wouldn't kill Robbie, and they would take Robbie to the back. Some of Vicente's men would dispose of Johnny's body. Vicente would want to know why the FBI was after Hector, but Robbie wouldn't understand them because Robbie wouldn't understand Spanish. So some of Hector's men would torture Robbie, and they would eventually find out that Robbie wasn't with the FBI. Hector's men would realize that they made a mistake, and they would call Hector, but Hector would tell them to get rid of the evidence and to get rid of Robbie. So Hector's men would kill Robbie in this timeline. The events of Season 5 would carry on. Miguel would still find out the truth about Hector, so Miguel would still want to leave, and Miguel would still call Carmen, and he would tell her that he was right about Hector, and that he was going home. This is when Carmen would reveal that Johnny was looking for him, and she would give Miguel Johnny's temporary number. Miguel would be happy, so Miguel would call Johnny, but no one would answer. He would tell Carmen that Johnny wasn't answering, so Carmen would start to get worried. Miguel would stay in Mexico for a couple days, waiting for Johnny, but Johnny would never show up. But eventually Miguel would buy a ticket and he would go back to the US. Carmen and Miguel would file a missing persons report on Johnny and Robbie. An investigation would open that would go nowhere. Eventually Robbie and Johnny's bodies would be found, and Carmen and Miguel would be devastated. There would be a funeral for Robbie and Johnny. Shannon would be devastated. Tori would be devastated over Robbie. Tori would still tell Kreese that Johnny had passed away, and Kreese would be devastated, and the events of Season 5 would continue. Carmen would still be pregnant, and she would want to raise the baby on her own. Cobra Kai would continue to expand. Daniel and Johnny would want to continue trying to expose Terry Silver. And that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Vicente killed Johnny during the events of Cobra Kai Season 5? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.